just days before thousands of fans were expected to see North West take the stage for the very first time on her own headlining tour, everything came to a sudden stop. Without warning, the entire 14-date Kimokawaii Tour disappeared. Ticket listings vanished. The official website went offline, and fans were left asking the same question. What happened? Banged. North West finally broke her silence with a short but emotional message, admitting she was heartbroken that the tour wouldn't be happening. But instead of explaining why, she ended with a mysterious promise that instantly sent social media into overdrive. I have something special for you guys. See ya soon. Ik. So what really forced one of the year's most talked minus about celebrity tours to be cancelled before it even began? Was it simply a change of plans, or is there more happening behind the scenes than fans have been told? From the tour's sudden disappearance to the growing speculation online, this story has taken several unexpected turns. And by the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer picture of what unfolded and why. This may only be the beginning. Just when it looked like North West was about to reach one of the biggest milestones of her young music career, changed overnight. Fans had been counting down the days until the Kimokawaii Tour kicked off, but instead of seeing rehearsal clips or final tour preparations, they woke up to a surprising announcement straight from North herself. Len, in a brief Instagram story posted on 13 July, the 13-year-old revealed that the tour she had been eagerly preparing for with rapper Molly Santana was no longer happening. Whoosh! I was really excited to go on tour. Woo. Molly, she wrote, before adding the disappointing news that it simply isn't happening anymore. The message was short, honest, and noticeably missing one important detail. It never explained why the tour had been cancelled. Funged. Rather than offering an explanation, North left fans with an intriguing promise. Alongside a black heart emoji, she wrote, "But I have something special for you guys. See ya soon." That single sentence instantly shifted the conversation online. While many fans expressed disappointment over the cancellation, others focused on what she might be hinting at next. Could a new music release be around the corner? A surprise performance? Or something completely unexpected? At this point, nothing has been officially confirmed, and the reason behind the cancellation remains unknown. Lens. For an artist just beginning to carve out her own identity beyond one of the world's most famous families, the sudden change came as a genuine surprise. But what made the situation even more shocking was what fans discovered almost immediately after her announcement. And that's when fans noticed something that made the situation feel even more real. It wasn't just North's announcement that raised eyebrows. The entire Kimokawaii Tour seemed to disappear almost overnight. The tour had been scheduled to begin on August 5 in Dallas. Before making its way through 14 cities across the United States, wrapping up later that month. For many fans, it was set to be a historic moment, marking North West's first ever headlining tour and another major step in her rapidly growing music career. But within hours of the cancellation announcement, fans reported that the tour dates had been removed from Ticketmaster, and the official Kimokawaii Tour website was no longer available. The sudden disappearance only fueled even more questions about what had happened behind the scenes. Adding to the disappointment, North's company headliner Molly Santana also addressed the situation with a heartfelt message to fans. She sincerely apologized to everyone who had purchased tickets or made travel plans, acknowledging that many had taken time off work, spent their hard-earned money, and were looking forward to seeing the performances. Molly thanked supporters for standing by her and promised she would make it up to them in the future, though she also stopped short of revealing why the tour had been called off. Leand, with no official explanation from either artist's team. Online speculation quickly took over. Fans began sharing theories across social media, with some suggesting scheduling or logistical issues, while others wondered if there were behind-the-scenes complications. It's important to note that these ideas remain unverified, and neither North nor Molly has confirmed the reason for the cancellation. Lambda. What made the news even harder to believe was that, only weeks earlier, everything appeared to be going exactly according to plan. In fact, this tour wasn't announced out of nowhere. It was built on months of growing momentum that made North look like one of music's fastest rising young stars. And that's what makes this story even more unexpected. But here's what many people don't realize. This wasn't just another tour announcement. For Northwest, it represented the biggest opportunity of her music career so far. Leaned. The Kimokawaii Tour was set to be North's first chance to headline a nationwide run of shows, proving she could attract audiences beyond the headlines that have followed her since birth. While growing up as the daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West has guaranteed attention, North has increasingly shown that she's determined to build a career on her own creative ambitions rather than simply relying on her famous last name, Spanged. That momentum had been building for months. In May, she released her debut EP, Endling Earth 4 EVR, introducing fans to her evolving musical style. Before that, she had already made headlines with live performances alongside Molly Santana, first appearing at Rolling Loud in May before returning to the stage together at Lyrical Lemonade's Summer Smash in June. Those performances generated massive attention online and convinced many fans that a full tour was the natural next step. Flamed. Behind the scenes, North was also expanding her list of collaborators. She had already worked with artists, including Lil Novi, the son of Lil Wayne, experimental singer FKA Twigs, and even her uncle, Travis Scott. For someone only 13 years old, it was an unusually ambitious start, signaling that she wasn't treating music as a short-lived celebrity hobby, but as something she genuinely wanted to pursue. Boo. That's why the cancellation landed so hard. It wasn't simply about 14 postponed concerts. It interrupted the biggest moment of North's young career just as she seemed ready to step into the spotlight on her own terms. But while many people focused on the canceled tour, others pointed out that this wasn't the first time North had found herself at the center of intense public debate. In fact, she'd already been making headlines for an entirely different reason. But long before the tour was canceled, Northwest had already learned what it's like to face constant public scrutiny. Every new song and social media post seems to spark a fresh wave of reactions, and she made it clear she isn't interested in letting the criticism define her. Earlier this year, North grabbed attention with her track Piercing on My Hand, a song many listeners viewed as her response to the comments surrounding her style and personal choices. Throughout the track, she embraces her individuality, rapping about piercings, colorful hair, fashion, and chasing success on her own terms. Rather than backing away from the criticism, she appeared to turn it into creative fuel. Bend. The reaction online was exactly what you'd expect. Fans praised her confidence, saying it was refreshing to see someone so young express herself without worrying about public opinion. Others questioned whether someone her age should be moving so quickly into the entertainment industry. As with many, the debate often became less about the music itself and more about the spotlight she's been living under since birth. Being the daughter of two of the world's most recognizable celebrities means every move is examined more closely than most artists will ever experience. Supporters see North as a young creator, finding her own voice, while critics argue that the attention surrounding her is impossible to separate from her famous family. No matter which side people are on, one thing is undeniable. North continues to generate headlines every time she releases new music or steps onto a stage. You know? And that's exactly why the tour cancellation sparked so many questions. Because, with all the momentum she had built, fans couldn't help but wonder what could have possibly brought everything to a sudden halt. The answer, however, isn't as straightforward as many expected. So, what actually caused the Kimokawaii Tour to be cancelled? That's the question fans have been trying to answer ever since Northwest's announcement, but the truth is that no official explanation has been given. Ambience. Neither North nor Molly Santana shared a specific reason for calling off the 14-date tour. Their statements focused entirely on thanking supporters, apologizing for the disappointment, leaving a noticeable gap that was quickly filled by online speculation. So, within hours, social media was flooded with theories. Some fans suggested there may have been scheduling conflicts or logistical challenges, while others wondered if changes behind the scenes made the tour impossible to move forward. However, it's important to remember that these remain nothing more than fan theories. As of now, there is no confirmed evidence explaining why the tour was cancelled. Land. Instead of addressing the rumors directly, North chose to leave fans with something far more intriguing. Her promise that she has something special coming soon immediately shifted. Attention from what had been cancelled to what might be next. That brief message has sparked countless conversations, with fans wondering whether she's preparing to release new music, announce another live performance, or unveil an entirely different project. So far, North has remained silent, allowing the mystery to grow. Laned. For many supporters, this unexpected setback doesn't necessarily signal the end of her momentum. If anything, it has made people even more curious about her next move. Sometimes, a surprise cancellation creates even more anticipation than the event itself, especially when it's followed by a promise that something bigger could be on the horizon. Lund. Whether that mystery project turns out to be worth the wait remains to be seen. But one thing is already clear, Northwest has everyone's attention, and whatever she announces next will likely become headline news all over again. And that may be the biggest clue about where her career is headed.